Yeah, you can help fund my court case about that on Blue Sky Frojo app or Frojo@mass.linuxgamecast.com.
I'm Sandy.
And welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. Surprisingly packed show. I thought it was going to be kind of thin, but a couple of things did happen. Something Fedora this way came and kind of went. Stay tuned. Jordan's going to tell you how that played out. I got all excited by emotion. But instead he's going to tell you about a really, really super cool 3D NES thing that hurts your eyes. It's like a magic picture, but it has on ankle size.
It's not a sailboat.
It's kind of weird. Did you ever have a dude?
I could never fucking do them. I was Ethan Suplee in that fucking movie. Yeah, my entire goddamn life.
Have you ever heard of a store called Spencer's Gifts?
Yes.
I was at the mall and I saw that. I walked in and I'm like, oh, it's one of those things. Dude, like the attendant came over and asked if they could help me because I was determined to fucking see something in there. I was like,
yeah. And I remember in class, we used to have like the books full of them and I tried all of them and it never fucking worked for me.
They worked for me. Like it was like I had to cross my eyes.
Seeing them right now,
I see all the shapes. I see all the colors.
Oh, and together with you watching us live over here on Twitch, Chat Room Dynamic helping us form. Cocaine, Ultron. Speaking of my emotion,
all the colors of the cocaine rainbow.
Well, I mean the primary colors, yes. Now, I could make him a gradient. I learned how to do gradients and get him. The other day, and I'm like, yay, that wasn't too bad. I got to submit some documentation corrections for them, but I had my emotion, like genuinely tore asunder yesterday, Friday. I got up early as fuck to go help my friend. We're putting some gutters up on the back of his house, and I'm like, yo, I'll help you, but we're going to do it before the fucking sun gets up. Why? Because we're in the middle of get wrecked heat. And I did not want to be like, just followed over dead, right? Got up, grabbed a tablet, go to hop in the car, check the mail real quick before I leave because I toss that shit back in the boot. I don't like carrying it with me. Notification, Google fucking Fibre. Shit's available, son. Coming. Done. Good to go now. Like I've been waiting so because I've been paying extortion money to our beloved friends at Charter for years now. And I would just the satisfaction of being able to call them up and be like, get stuff.
Nah.
And just pay the equipment fee so I can light it on fire, dude. So I'm over there and like we get wrapped up about like 10 o'clock. It was like 5 hours transpired. Like that's in my head the entire time, man. Running up and down fucking ladders and handing shit back and forwards. I'm like, all the shit I'm going to be able to get up to with Google Fibre because like, I was like, do I just want 1 gig or maybe I'll get the 2 gig, maybe the 6 gig. And I check my email when I get back home. Google Fibre says, sorry for the mix up. Due to a system error, you received a service available notice by mistake.
As you were like pouring gasoline on the modem and you have the match
like dumbfounded. I have to imagine like, okay, everybody listening to this show, but if you're just stumbling across, you're not into tech. Anybody into tech, you know that hits exactly across the board. This would be like knowing you had the fucking winning lottery ticket at your house and you get home and it's already been taken away in the like dump truck. Trash thing. Like it was like, what? I was like, what? Why would you do that? No recourse. So that was my emotion, like getting like ripped around. I'm like, man, that was wild. But a little bit of good news this afternoon. I come cruising in one of the Interfacing Linux articles I did. I built the Geek Deck, right? Motorcycle guy, leave. Do it. There he goes. All right.
Vroom.
He wasn't even vrooming. He was just pulling up to the edge of fucking everything. All right. So built the Geek Deck. That one got a couple of views. It got picked up by XDA, got picked up by fucking Hacker News, and like apparently somewhere else. It's kind of hockey stick and a bunch of people talking about it, which is good for all of us because it's got people looking at SteamOS, playing around with it, maybe fucking around with Linux a bit later, and not running out to go buy anything, but like getting it in their head. Like, hey, we can at least try to put this on my Nook or whatever I got laying around, man, and getting into it.
I was reading some of the comments on like the Hackaday thing that Jill posted, and they're like, I don't get why you would just buy this thing. And it's like, it's not like you said in the fucking video, install it on just a random computer you have.
Yeah.
Well, I need to create a situation in order for me to complain, Jordan. Don't you understand? It says right here, Rule 6 of the internet. Yes.
Create problems so I can get mad at them. Make up a guy. Get mad at them.
Okay, we might have been reading this. I forgot. I perused the comments or like whatever. Yeah. It's been great over on YouTube. Hockey stick, got a couple hundred new subscribers. The algorithms picked it back up, so we're going to ride that Monday. Oh boy, Hangout Monday. Monday is like something I think is going to be really fun to watch, really popular. It's going to be about ARM and gaming, but it's going to be about doing what I love to do the most, which is run circles around expensive shit with just commodity hardware that we can all run out and pick up. So just stick around. It'll be out for everybody at 8 a.m. But I was reading those comments, Jordan, and I read one to what you were talking about. Guys, like, well, it would have been written, I think it would have been Hackaday. Is like if whoever wrote it at Hackaday and like summarized it would have put the system specs in, and I'm like, couldn't make it 23 seconds into the video, could you, bro?
Yeah, you do actually talk about it. Yeah, like I watched the video. 23
seconds. I was like, yeah, I went and checked. I'm like, I thought I put in like 23 seconds over. It's just like you hit the eject button on that, then you had to show up with your strong opinion.
Comparable. That's the point. It's comparable.
This is it, man. This is it. I love it. I'm here for it. Oh man, what have you guys been up to? We go listen to the pre super shows, and I learned that there's a demon pig.
Yes,
that's invisible sometimes.
Yeah, piggy, can't you see? Sometimes their words just hypnotize me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What's up?
Yeah, not much. Saw the Rivers of Nihil on Sunday. It was very hot. It was very sticky, but we made it. It was good. It was a 4-hour show. Standing, yeah, man, I'm old, man. Standing for 4 hours for a show is like
okay.
Real
I gotta
rough.
ask you, it hits different.
It does.
Standing with option to sit down or no option.
So because the AC in the place was busted, we cornered an area right near the back that someone had it was like near the bar, and they had set up a fan. So we were catching a bunch of the fan breeze. So we were kind of up against the wall. It wasn't really there was a chair, but it was usually taken by someone. But yeah, you could lean up against the wall at least. It wasn't too bad in that regard. But yeah, no, it's standing. So,
what did you have on for footwear?
I was wearing Crocs.
So sweaty.
You're a brave man. You're a brave man. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say.
Dude, my feet were like bruised. The bottoms of my feet felt bruised by the end of it.
At least you had the feet. They were intact, man. Oh, dude. Sandra, how about you, man?
Well, I found out my parents are possibly going to be either showing up this week or coming up
now.
The next week.
They just busted the door. Busted the door.
You're like, surprise! And they got their mobiles.
Yeah, exactly. So I may have to slightly get the TV ready.
No, don't you dare.
No, it's happening.
You should go to the print shop and get a print, like a wall print of a TV.
Of what?
No.
Of the TV?
Yeah. No, you need to get an A4 sized piece of paper with a picture of a TV on it and then tack it up there.
Yeah. See, I put the TV up for you guys so you guys can chill out.
It's just a piece of paper with like in Sharpie scribbled TV on
it.
Yeah. And then put another couple of them underneath that says Amazon Prime or like Disney Plus.
Just print out the Amazon page, of a TV. Maybe a review or two down at the bottom.
Yeah.
You get along with your parents, man.
Amazon. I printed it out, right? That's how it works. I watched the Linus Tech Tips video on it.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, exactly. Yeah, I get along with my parents. Like, they are old school. All
right.
Because my mom comes from a very German family, and then my dad is very how to explain him.
What's your mother's maiden name and the last 4 digits of your social insurance number?
Oh yeah.
name of the family pet.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Father's
like
middle name. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have a good relationship with them because, like, I did so for a while. Remember when I disappeared for a few years there? I spent a lot of time doing work on their house.
All right.
And doing a lot of roofing. So even though my other brothers, when they come for a visit, they don't have to do shit. But when Sandy comes for a visit,
roofs.
Well, we got some work. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to ever worry about putting shingles on the horse.
Oh, no. The horse has a tarp that automatically deploys when any moisture is detected. It also has a number of other safety features documented in the Steam Analytics Update, including a sandwich dispenser.
Echo. No. Maybe.
I don't see why not. At this point.
Steam subs. Yeah.
Hot dogs are sandwiches, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a hot dog sandwich.
100%. Gentlemen, let's talk about what could have been. Something we've talked about on this very show multiple times. And what am I talking about? A Microsoft Game Pass, but for Steam. Steam Pass. Steam Dreams and all that. And the weird future to where that might have happened a long time ago, billions of years ago, into the future's past. This
in 2004.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Ish.
Stannis _ Loyalist has a Steam subscription, like little blurb cut out. Valve's the $9.95 monthly Steam plan almost happened, but stopped after significant backlash. And this reads, if you're too lazy to go to the store, you may be able to get Half-Life 2 when you pay for a Steam subscription. A Steam Sidewalk probably costs you around $9.95 a month. So this, I'm guessing, is right around the time when Half-Life 2 rolled out. So when was that?
Yeah, 04-ish.
04-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The $9.95 guy, yeah, pretty good value. TF2 ship, subscribers will get it as part of their subscription. And so this reads like not really what I would necessarily be looking for, which is like, an a la carte, you just pick out whoever wants to sign up for it. But this would be just for like Valve games on the Steam client, which I guess made sense in their head at the time of like, well, we're just going to keep making games and you guys, long as you're paying.
Also, like, Steam was kind of just a medium to deliver Valve games. It wasn't really, there were other games available on it, but it wasn't like expected that games would be widely available
like
on
that
Steam.
It was more green, dude. It wasn't professional.
It was olive, yeah.
Yeah, you can have an olive UI and be pro. It's not a lot. Can't be done. So I think this was kind of like ahead of their time. But this made me think, though, if they'd went ahead with this, with their episodic, because let's face it, like episodic gaming was just taking off at the time of us, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2.
That's it.
Period.
That's all we got.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they had rolled this out and it had really been a thing, do you think that would have given them like a little more incentive to like do Half-Life 2 Episode 3 of like, oh yeah, we have all these customers and they're like, rawr.
Yeah, I think we probably would have seen like episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I guess because I think definitely being on the hook would probably light a fire under their ass to actually get that stuff done. But then there's the question of, would it have actually been better, or would he just have more of it?
I would like, I'd like to sample it. I put it down and like, I'm really glad they did that full Half-Life reboot after Half-Life 7 episode 9. Because it was dragging on to like what you're saying is like, yes, but I think we would have at least like episode 3 and maybe Half-Life 4 would have been all right.
Maybe. I don't know, but yeah, definitely the path of time went in another direction. They became more of a storefront now. And I guess like, yeah, the market and the platform wasn't ready for it back in 04. Now there's like a desire for it. Now people are used to subscription services. Game Pass is a thing that people really like. And yeah, it's kind of weird how we've kind of culturally taken a 180 on that.
Sony, whatever Sony has, and
PS Plus, Gold, like Platinum, Iridium.
Where people look you dead in the eye without blinking. They go, yeah, I get free games.
Neutronium.
Yeah, the games are free. And I'm like, okay. If like, I guess they just don't want to deal with it because like licensing, they probably at least somebody there's run the numbers at Valve and they went, just that the nightmare of like just dealing with people like signing up and signing out. And I'm talking about developers versus like what potential revenue flow would be there, plus the expectation of having to deliver new stuff each and every month. That's not the Valve we have today. The Valve we have today is...
Plus, there's the DRM aspect of it, right? Like, games are not like streaming video in the sense that, like, yes, you can capture like the streaming video and like have a thing, but games are much more complicated than that. There's like an executable component to it. If you are, renting games off of the service, how do you ensure that, once your rental has, or once your month has expired, once your subscription expires, that you can no longer play the game?
Right. So. There's always like the same thing with how long you can watch your movie. Because remember, you used to be able to get TV shows and movies off of.
Oh, yeah. Well, hell, even on like actual streaming services, right? They'll just like fucking memory hole shit when they decide, it's a tax write-off.
Yep.
I don't know. And like the other thing too is like to your point about the licensing, Microsoft can get away with it because it's only games that they own, and their solution is, we want to put games on Game Pass. We're just going to buy the company and then put the games on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And I mean, with Game Pass, because like you can like sign up to be on Game Pass, and they have like different revenue splits. If you're coming in as like an indie developer, and they're like, do you want like an upfront payment, or do you want a payment based on how many hours are played or whatever? Like that. When I started thinking about that, I was like, we already got a money printer, dude. We're good. Like,
yeah.
We need more.
Buy more RCS skins.
You, Sandy, are very much against this beautiful, peaceful future of futureness where we all just rent games constantly without having physical items.
Own nothing.
Yeah, own nothing and happy about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm definitely glad they didn't go down this route just because, like... In an alternate history, I don't think the Steam platform, had they actually followed through with this, wouldn't have been as popular as it is now and had so many game companies supporting said platform that they do now.
Valve, people hated Steam.
Oh, yeah.
Go back and read. Like, I did not really have eyes on it at the time, but going back and like reading forum posts, as you end up doing, like, people did not like the idea of digital distribution. They wanted a mothering CD, dude.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I think I don't know though, because like there was definitely that aspect of it, and then there was also, when I was a kid, a lot of us were dirty, filthy pirates, and we would just download games, and it's like you didn't really need a CD.
Well, okay, yeah, there's something to be said. A lot of us were very familiar with the digital distribution, whether or not Steam existed.
Exactly. Yeah. So like when I remember when I bought a digital copy from Direct to Drive of, I think, Serious Sam 1 or 2, the Second Encounter.
Yeah.
Like, this, it makes sense. Yeah, I don't want to have to like, I mean, I still have my fucking binder of my CD binder of like fucking video games. Yeah. That was the thing you had to keep track of. You had to like have the license key somewhere. That was like, sometimes it was in the front of in the CD book. Sometimes it was in the back. So you had to like pull that out, and like it wouldn't fit in the fucking CD.
And there was that weird phase where some companies would work out a deal with the Valve to where your registration key would give you a copy on Steam. I still remember like going back through like old keys and just like plugging them into Steam, and I'm like, am I going to get anything from it? Nope.
Yeah. It was, I don't know. It was like that was how I unlocked all my Half-Life shit on Steam. Was like, input your CD key from your CD. Oh, hey, here's all the Half-Life games. And I only bought Counter-Strike too, so it's like, oh, Half-Life.
How about this? We've all seen this pop up. Like, you go to click play and it's like, here's a pop-up screen with your CD key that the game will require. Yeah. Have you ever had that be required?
I think once, and it was an older game.
Like, to this day, I still copy it to the clipboard. I'm like, just in case.
Save here.
But I've never been hit with it. Man, we don't have to worry about this.
I literally still have a USB stick with all my CD keys sitting right here on the table.
I think what it is Steam has a hook now where it will like just inject the text file with the CD key that it will generate for you. So it just does that for you automatically.
Man, I love the digital audio workstation I'm using over here called Reaper. Mm-hmm. So this one, like, maybe got a good laugh out of me because I had bought the license and I had it copied, Control C, and I open up Reaper and I go to like plug it in, and it's like, I see you have the key in your buffer. Do you want me to go ahead and pop that in for you? And I'm like, creepy, but yeah, nice.
Yes.
I like that.
The one on Android too, where it's like when they send you the SMS code, and then Android's like, "Oh, I know what this is," and then it feeds it into the thing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's also convenient.
That's pretty dope. All right, so Switch 2. Speaking of things that, man, see, Nintendo's doing it a little more dirty. They at least will let you buy a hollow cart.
Yes. The CD key is in the cart. The files are in the computer.
It's inside the computer.
It's in the computer. But this next article is from Eurogamer with the clickbait title. I thought the Switch 2 would kill my Steam deck, but it actually made me play it more. And yeah, this guy's like, yeah, I got my Switch 2. I was very, very happy with it. I was playing Mario Kart and some of the other games that were available on launch. And then after I had my fill of those games, I found that I wasn't really picking it up to play games on the Switch 2. I would just play them on the Steam Deck, according to him. And yeah, I think that is kind of the thing with these sort of like, I think you would probably see this too with like, the Legion Go or any of these other like higher end handhelds where it's like, the experience is very, very similar. You might get some better performance, but at the end of the day, like, you like all your saves are from your PC games are there on the Steam Deck, right? Like, most of the games available on Switch are available on Steam for considerably less. Oftentimes, usually it's there's a flip side to that. Devs do get a better revenue share on the Switch store, so there is that aspect of it. Steam does not give the best in terms of revenue split. But yeah, like I think most of the games that people would want to play, other than like your Duskbloods or your Mario Karts or your Barcode Battlers or whatever, yeah, I think like they run just as well on the Steam Deck as they do on the Switch too. And yeah, if you already, and like there's no way to transfer your progress over. So if you already have a bunch of progress in like Vampire Survivors on Steam, pick it up on your Steam Deck again and play again. Yeah, I don't know. We're at this point now with like new console releases where it's a lot of diminishing returns. Like, yeah, you might get like slightly better hardware, but it's not like the games are running better because they're not being super well optimized, especially on like the Switch, right?
But see, on the Switch you get to pay like $80 for the privilege, though.
This is true. And you get mouse mode on the Joy-Con.
Those are neat. Okay, I'm not fucking with you. Like I might buy a pair of Joy-Cons because that's
yeah, and the high and it natively supports the native like mouse plus joystick.
Yeah,
which is I actually really like that for like shooters.
I guess it depends, man, because like the Steam and before that the Aya Neo and before that the what was it, like the Dragon or whatever the
Dragon
Zero.
Box.
Yeah, was it the Dragon Box? It was like the clamshell one.
Yeah, the Dragon
the
Box.
Pyro or whatever.
Yeah, Pyro. Pyro was the first one.
Before, or because there's a new Pyro. I don't know. I lost track.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was it was a boutique and expensive as fuck is what it was. Those people, like, there's handheld enthusiasts. Like, I read through those and I see those people on like SBC gaming and shit like that. Then there's, I think the Switch, especially the original Switch, like it got a lot of people who were just like casual gaming. You know, they're like, oh, just pick up a Switch, play around with it. But the PC handheld, the Steam Deck, the Aya, but definitely the Steam Deck has helped solidify that of like, how many casuals are you really capturing with that? Like a couple for sure. But I think the big sell when you look at a Steam Deck is I already got all the games, dude. I don't have to go pay $80 for Mario Kart, which I think is fucking ridiculous, Nintendo.
Well, the other thing too is I don't need to pay $50 to upgrade my Switch titles to the Switch 2 titles to not even get better performance. It doesn't even fix the fucking game. It just lets you run it on the new hardware.
Yeah.
For the privilege of being able to play the game that you already own.
Man, I don't know. I don't have any hate for anybody that like is like in the Nintendo ecosystem, but I think the Switch 2's priced out a lot of people too, man.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely one of those like abusive relationships, right? Like
at some point, man. I mean, you got fed up with it.
Yeah, I did. It was that last Pokemon game was like the straw that broke the camel's back for me. It's like, oh, you're gonna release a $50. So in addition, not I was just talking about the upgrade patch, but like, oh, we're gonna have a Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. It's gonna cost $50. Is it gonna actually fix the broken shit in the game? No. Like at that point, it's like, oh, okay, cool. So like, I'm just wasting my money then.
How long do you think Nintendo can keep this up? Because like Nintendo is like, when it comes to hardware game dev studios, they are the fucking Nvidia of the game consoles.
yeah.
Like they
I
don't
think
give fucks at all.
I think realistically, like the way they're set up, they can just keep going forever, pretty much, right?
Yeah, but they care about that appearance, though.
They do. They do. But
NVIDIA doesn't care about the appearance.
But they also have the nostalgia capture, right? They got the Mario, they got the Pikachu, and as long as they got those guys, like people will fall in line.
They don't care. They're laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's crazy because like anybody who's buying a Switch 2 is literally coming for the first party games, like the Nintendo exclusive games.
Well, I mean, right now you're 100% right
Floods,
because
which was the From Soft one.
That's the only Switch games out right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna play Mario Kart and some of my old games. Yeah.
So some of that you have to pay to play on the Switch 2. Yeah.
Yeah. But even then, now you can play your old Nintendo games on the Steam Deck with this wonderful new app that came out on Steam.
Well, fuck you. I'm going to play it on my Steam Brick.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so this is 3D Sen, which is a Unity emulation.
Oh, because it's NES backwards. I get it.
Yeah. So what it does is it's an emulation that runs off of the Unity 3D engine.
My brain took way too long to read that shit backwards, motherfucker. All right.
And what it does is it allows you to bring your they already have a number of preset games, popular games within their library, and if you have like your copies of those games, you can run them through this emulator and it'll turn the games 3D, and it's pretty freaking awesome. I actually played around with it. I picked it up and played around with it. I got some screenshots that I sent to Ven. And I then found out, I was like, oh man, this is so freaking cool. Like, so I hope they have tools to actually like allow people, if they have copies of other games, to be able to, that are not on the default list, to be able to work them. Lo and behold, sure enough,
you spent some time on that character name, didn't you?
No, tons of time. Dude, I was like, I gotta get in this to see it.
That's some Jordan naming conventions, man.
Yeah.
Like,
see, this is where you learn that you got to mix it. You at least got to throw a B, C, D because that shit gets. This is learning as a child. Yeah.
No, it's As turn to fucking attack.
Yeah. But yeah, no. They do give you like a very brief list, but it would be nice if they had like a link to the full list on their store page somewhere. I'm like looking at the fucking video, Jordan. I'm like, well, why are you just showing this one? Go right, Nintendo, right?
Yes.
Right. So yeah, I bet they're like no mention of fucking Nintendo anywhere on internet.
I suppose this is true. I was gonna say, Sandy, since you bought it, does the game actually come with the list?
Okay, so yes, those were games that were actually part of the default list that I already owned. Yeah,
okay, cool.
So they had they had the first Mario, they had Mario Duck Hunt, all the Donkey Kong games.
They said they had something like 100 games or something in there.
Yeah,
so like,
it's pretty close. Like it's not like they had Contra.
I think this is like the original Game Genie, where like here's our list of games that we got, but I mean just throw shit at it, see what happens.
And like a lot of this is like bespoke work to determine like which blocks actually do get converted into voxels, which tiles are like background, foreground, that kind of processing stuff. So it's not something that you can just like throw a ROM in and it will just work. No, but the important thing is you can save state.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that was something that didn't even cross my mind, dude. Somebody brought that up in the comment section on the Geek Deck, and they were like, everyone who's installed SteamOS on a fucking thing. That's what they brought up. They're like, does the coolest feature of the Steam Deck work? Which I never thought of.
The auto suspend.
The auto suspend. And I'm like, mother, I never crossed my mind. I was thinking about using this as a console, and like I tested it, it did work. So yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually cool as hell, especially if you're using it as a TV box. Because like, there's a lot of games where you just kind of don't want to have to.
The only thing is you got like manually do it. It doesn't work when you hit the power button. But you're on the couch anyway, so like, okay, not a big deal. And you can resume it by hitting the power button, and your controller will naturally time out. But you cut it back on, and it syncs back up. Ladies and gentlemen, spaghetti.
Yes. Do you love spaghetti?
Not from the sink, though.
What's wrong again? What's wrong with spaghetti?
I wonder how many views that has gotten now. Last time I looked, it was like crawling up to like 2,000. I'm like, what are you fucking weirdos doing watching this show?
Weirdos.
Pasta fazool. Yeah.
Yeah. Meet a nice
Pasta
girl,
fazool.
make her some skink skitty.
Yeah.
Skink
Yeah.
skitty. All right.
So, do
Pasta
you guys-
fangool.
I got a question for you guys. Do you guys love Mario Kart 64?
I am partial to it.
Yeah.
Fucking kids,
Well,
man. Mario Kart
how do you
SNES
like-
for life, man.
But how do you like Mario Kart 64, but with spaghetti code?
Listen, I know you
Can I
worked on
put
that.
spaghetti in my N64 and replicate the
Yeah.
experience?
You know what? I think you could. Yeah. So this is
Can I
a
put
wonderful.
spaghetti in my engine block?
Yeah, exactly.
You only put
You
spaghetti in the DVD
in
player.
engine
God
block.
damn it.
Yeah, so this awesome project built on C# and what was it? C++, I think they said. Yeah, so essentially it re-implementation of Mario Kart 64 through this custom engine, allowing a whole new gameplay style. It's mostly fixed around what was it? The keyboard? Yeah, the keyboard for a lot of the controls right now. I'm pretty sure they mentioned that they were going to add controller support at some
That's already
point.
working with a controller, Brian.
Oh, it's already
so-
working?
supposedly you can run it in on like an actual Switch too, if you have a homebrew.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. This is like the work coming out of the the N64 decomp,
The
Stuff
static
should
Okay,
work
yes.
decompilation stuff.
and people are doing a bunch of like fun things with it. And this one, there's a couple of projects already working on Mario Kart 64 reverse engineering and a couple of milestones. But what sells this, man, is there's just an app image that you can download. Now, you do have to go to Nintendo's website, log into your account, and download the ROM for the game that you bought.
Yes, the and it's the USA only ROM.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with
Yeah.
any of the EU or JP ROMs.
But it's like super slick. You open the app image and it's like, where's the ROM that you just legally purchased from Nintendo? And you're like, here it is. It's like, cool, because it's got to decompress it and move the files around, then it builds it. Native PC port. And it runs great. It's OpenGL. I didn't have any problems with it. Pop in a controller, off to the races. And yeah, it's Mario Kart 64. I don't want to say I've never played Mario Kart 64, but I'm a snob. I learned to play Mario Kart, and by that I was pretty good at it on the SNES. Like that parallax scrolling shit, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played Mario Kart on the SNES. My first one was definitely the N64 one. So that's where my nostalgia is, and this is pretty cool. I love to see it because there's a lot of the emulating N64 even today is still kind of a bugbear.
Jordan, one thing I did know, because I've watched enough like retro stuff. What was the guy who does it? Man, I'll remember his name maybe before the end of the show. Typical retro guy. I think he's like an Australian dude. Maybe. But Modern Gamer, Modern Vintage Gaming, MVG or something like that.
Okay.
He talked about the difficulty in like nailing the particular thing in Mario Kart 64, which is the TV that's showing you racing. He's like, that's how you can always check like the quality of an emulator, like whether or not it can pull that off. And this didn't have any problem with it. Because I went like, oh, look, it's not like flipping out and all that shit.
Yeah,
So,
but yeah, like N64 emulation has come a long way, but it's still like very much a brute force operation. Nowhere near as refined as something like our PCS3.
Yeah.
Even like,
and like this is a native build on your PC, so you're not even emulating anything, dude.
Yeah.
You're just running the engine code. So
yeah, no, and like and to that point, yeah, like being able to just do this in general with N64 games and having like an easy path to like actually get that implemented and like in stream and improvements like improved AI and like better controller support.
Track editor, FreeCam, custom track importer. They say harder CPUs on the GitHub, which I hope they mean like they've put some better smarts in the AI.
They copy pasted the SuperTux card.
I listen, which doesn't cheat, by the way, Jordan.
It's just better than
Yes. I'll tell you how dumb the AI is on default, because it probably took me a good 30 seconds to suss out where acceleration was on the keyboard. As anybody who's ever played a emulator game or a console game and you didn't have your controller plugged in, you start hunting and pecking and you're like, is it?
Yep.
Oh yeah. On the GitHub page, they give you the controller breakdown. I'm like, this looks insane, but also this is an N64 controller, so
Right.
I get it.
A little unhinged. But But yeah, with a 30-second lead, I was able to make up my time and finish in first place, and nobody shelled me right at the end. So they're still pretty dumb. Something I tried right before the show. I saw this news earlier this week. Dying Light, man. Dying Light has been out for a decade now. Zombie. Like, that was a fun game, man. What was the one before Dying Light that we played with the zombies?
Dead Island?
Dead Island, dude. That was a fun game, too.
Yeah.
I think to this date, that is the only game that I've had a genuinely good time with the crafting system that I was like actively like searching for blueprints.
Yeah, because you can make some insane fucking weapons.
Barbed wire, electric chainsaw bat. And I'm like,
the kayak with the chainsaws on the other end. Yeah.
I was like, this is dope as hell, man. Dying Light was the evolution, and really fun game. Played through it, did a playthrough a long time ago. They've retouched. They call it the retouched update.
The touching.
The retouching.
Let's be very clear. This is an enhancement, not a remaster, so fuck off, internet. Right there.
You do not have to buy this game again.
Yeah. This is free. Also, yeah, P.S. Shut up. So, a couple of things in here, man, they're bragging about. Like, 8K shadows. Oh, I didn't know they went that high, but apparently they do. And they're showing some before and after over here on the page. All this will be in the show notes, man. And yeah, cleaning up textures, up-resing them. Like, they're like, we did a lot of this stuff by hand. This isn't like we just didn't feed it to some AI thing. They put in some brand new audio tracks, some brand new ambient bleeps and bloops. And we're like, why did it take so long? We're like, we hadn't touched this shit in 10 years. It took us a minute to figure out how to drive it again, dude. Like, we've evolved as a studio. This is like going back to that like old project you haven't touched in a decade. Like, how does this thing work again? And they got back up to speed on it. And there's a nice little video behind the music, with the updates. Yeah, that's what they explain why it took so long. And it's completely free. I downloaded it. Good news and bad news. Bad news, that Linux client don't fucking run anymore, dude. If you didn't know, you didn't have to play this through Proton. Proton didn't exist 10 years ago, but it had a Linux port. Mm-hmm. And it ran good enough to like play through it. Didn't have a problem with it. We didn't have Vulkan back then, but I tried to load it up on Threadpooper here. It froze, dude. Like, I had to like fucking alt tab, get to Steam and like close it out. Got it working, hit the Proton button, came right up. A great performance on it because this is a 10-year-old game. Still looks good too, man. Like, zombie parkour. Parkour. Yeah, not parkour. Parkour.
Hardcore hairy zombie. Henry.
So, dude, what do you think?
So the textures look really polished now. Like,
textures
really
mean
well polished.
So much, dude.
Oh, man. Like, but I was thinking to myself, because I was like, oh, man, the bump mapping looks pretty good. And then I thought to myself, I was like, does anyone even call it bump mapping anymore? But yeah, they did such a phenomenal job on the textures. Like really fucking well done. Like, I'm actually thinking about just wiping my file and just doing a full playthrough from the beginning again.
It definitely looks like a game that was released like a couple of years ago and not like 10 years ago.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, it was a great 100%. Looking game for the day. And like, there's so much. Like, and I'm not being, hey, look, Blade 2.
Yeah.
This is a
Assassin's
fun game.
Creed.
Yeah, it's got multiplayer in it. And I mean, it's fun. It's unhinged. Doesn't take it does not take itself too damn seriously. And, hang on. We were just getting to that. Yeah. All the crazy bullshit. Yeah, you can drop kick people like that.
Oh, that's the thing I love about the game is drop kicking people.
So I'm getting a bit of like Just Cause meets Left 4 Dead vibe.
Yeah. I mean, to a certain extent, because like you're throughout the story, you're doing like a lot of like mix between zombies and like faction stuff. So like you are killing people too. Okay. So it's like but yeah, it's really well done in terms of like how the layout too, is. Right?
It does. This is something like I need to check out because like they've updated the screen. It's like, do you want to play Dying Light 1 or Dying Light 2? Like, I didn't buy Dying Light 2. I might come back and click on that. It's fun. The multiplayer is really fun. Had a good time with it. And to the textures, like every time people brings up the two games that are like really stick out, Quake 3 Arena. The textures in fucking Quake 3 Arena, you can still zoom in on at UHD. You're like, those still hold up. The first time I played Half-Life 2, which was about 5 years ago, still hold up. And a lot of that is just those environmental textures they spent so much time with, helps overcome. This is a modern looking game because it was made in the modern time. You have a good time with it. It's a fun game. If you don't have it, it's probably like $150. So
$350.
Yeah, man. Go grab it. Now, trauma.
Oh my God. So, Fedora change proposals. Anyone can go and submit a change proposal if they think that they have a cool idea for Fedora to improve it. One such person did. Their name was Fabio Valenti, and they thought, packaging 32-bit apps is kind of a bullshit job in this 64-bit world of ours, especially on Linux. A lot of the native applications don't really need 32-bit anymore. We've had x86 64-bit implementations of Linux for well over 15-20 years now, and yeah, it works for the most part. Most software is natively compiled there. So Fabio's like, well, why are we building all of our software twice? Could we not just drop 32-bit support entirely?
Yes.
And yes, people have opinions about this.
Nah, man, it's all right. They won't even notice.
Yeah, so I mean, the advantages for this mostly come from the package maintainer end, in that they don't have to maintain 32-bit build infrastructure. They don't have to worry about building 32-bit packages. There's not a lot of pure 32-bit implementations, so testing it is a bit of a problem. You're usually just testing it in a 64-bit environment. Hence, why don't we move everything over to pure 64-bit? Unfortunately, there are still a lot of non-Linux 32-bit apps that are in use. There's a lot of VST plugins for audio workstations. There are a lot of video games that are written for 32-bit, and there are some solutions for Windows. There's Wine WoW 64. They say this would be a thing that would need to be added for Wine support to support 32-bit games. That's not really fully implemented just yet. And yeah, there was a lot of feedback. The Bazite guy says this would kill our project. The Fex people said this is gonna really fuck up our Rootafest. We would need to change. We would need to change out entirely. And it's a weird situation because i686 hardware is pretty much dead and buried, but we have so much software that depends on libraries. The emulator thing was a crazy thing to think about as well, right? Because ARM doesn't have a 32-bit, 64-bit sort of implementation in the way that x86 does. Things are purely 32-bit or purely 64-bit. Yeah. So you will actually need those 32-bit libraries if you want to run 32-bit software on 64-bit ARM, because you still need to emulate all that. Lot of drama. It's one of these changes that's going to have huge blast radius, and a week later, it was withdrawn. Yeah, people didn't like it. And like I said, there's a number of reasons for this. He is disappointed in the reactions because, yeah, to his point, it's a fucking proposal, man. It's not a thing that they're going to do. It's hey, let's talk about this. We have a problem. Let's attempt to solve it.
No, I think you hit on it pretty good with the time frame of the proposal, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This would be coming up in Fedora 44, which is pretty.
Yeah, 42 just came out. Mm-hmm. 44 would be in a little under a year. Yeah, so that is a very small amount of time. This is something that I would say, if you were gonna do it, you probably need 2-3 years of lead up time just to get all the stakeholders aligned, because
I think that was most of our, and to say Fabio is not just a some rando that showed up. He was like, wouldn't this be fun to make the internet mad? He's part of the Fedora engineering steering committee. So
Besco, yes.
Yeah. And, but yeah, a lot of people chimed in, the Bazite one. Bazite's I ain't fucking with this, dude. Gone. But
yeah,
maybe doesn't have to worry about it. Not just yet. And, this gets people thinking. It gets them talking. Can we solve this with Flatpak? Maybe they can get Steam in a Flatpak, because, Canonical's got it in a snap. And yeah, are you having flashbacks to what was 6 or 7 years ago when Canonical's we're going to cut it? And I'm do it, cowards.
Yeah.
Let somebody just do it. See if we get some momentum behind that. Yeah, it's chaos. It's insanity. And it's going to hurt gaming. And this is why you have these proposals, though. Because you hear from ideas and from people running applications and doing things that maybe you just weren't aware of. You know, and like even the Mesa, one of the Mesa developers is like, yeah, I got to troubleshoot a lot of these 32-bit games. It's like, I'm going to make debugging a little more of a pain in the ass right there. Have to switch to something different. And Fex wouldn't be that big of a deal because you got a bunch of distros to thunk against. You know, Fedora just being one of them. So like they could rework it, but more than likely they're just like, nah, don't worry about it. Just use Arch or Ubuntu or the other ones they got like laying around in there. Steam, 64-bit. I wanted him to do the Pepsi challenge because I wanted to see if we could get Steam to blink. Because one of my constant pains in my left testicle is that goddamn 32-bit client with Steam on ARM. There's always like that extra step of having the 32-bit libs installed. If we could go 64-bit only, at least just to get the client up and running without all these extra fucking steps. I'd love to see that. The wine stuff, WoW 64 is fucking getting there, but it ain't. It ain't. So give it enough runway. Let's say 2 years out, like, and they commit to it. I'd love to see that. I think that'd be some leadership, some like saying we're going to do this because like Red Hat's already fucked off with 32-bit, man. Like,
I mean, and most of the industry has, right? Like, the issue is just like these vast swaths of legacy software, right? And like, and maybe the solution is having like just a 32-bit flat pack runtime and just have all the 32-bit apps like packaged against that, or I don't know, have ship the necessary libraries and like app images and stuff, or like I don't know. There are solutions to these problems for games that like, or for applications that can't necessarily be converted to a 64-bit implementation. So, but like to your point, like this gets the conversation started to like figure out how we solve these problems.
Got to figure it out, and they'll figure it out. Now, I still remember way back when. I'm not going to look it up because it was too many years ago. When AMD launched their first 64-bit processor. This was big news because before then you had Sparks, you had Sabre architecture too for your Sun Microsystems, and I had one, but no Oaks did. And you had Itanium, which even then nobody was like, we want to fuck with that. And Intel did it right. They're like, clean break, let's break this shit. AMD walked out with x86 64, which backwards compatible 32-bit. And I didn't put 2 and 13 together at the time. I remember installing Fedora. I was running Fedora at the time. It had to be Fedora 1, 2, or 3. It was like right in that area. Went out and bought it because I was at my friend's Daryl's house. We were doing a Linux install because this is the type of shit we did back in the day. We were helping people get it set up on laptops and stuff. And I'm like, let's try the 64-bit CPU. I brought my tower and over and we set it up. Everything was pretty smooth, like right up until I tried to play some videos, man. Like all the codecs were still 32-bit, and I mean all of them, dude. Like you couldn't do fuck nothing with media on those boxes, and that got fixed. And like, do you think things would be? I mean, things are just smooth now. Usually, you don't even think about it, do you?
Well, and like we've seen successful transitions like this, 32-bit to 64-bit ARM, right? Like that's it shows that you can make a break. I think the issue there though is now when that came out, we have like much better virtualization, and I don't think there was as much like consumer computing on 32-bit ARM. It was a lot of like phones and stuff, but you know, the life cycle of that is you don't usually keep your phone for an extended period of time. You'll upgrade it. Like, I don't know about the
M series. No, I don't think the M series has any 32-bit instruction.
Absolutely no.
Because like my CIX, so when I got in that Rosda, it doesn't have any 32-bit support. But then like your rock chips, they do have a 32-bit. And they're still, even that, they're two completely different things, but it does have the capability of executing 32-bit code.
Yeah, and then you get into like weird heterogeneous compute situations where you do have like multiple types of CPU on board to like be able to run these different things. Which,
crazy, man.
Which might be our future, right? You might have to upgrade your motherboard, and then you got to get the ARM CPU and the x86 CPU for it, depending.
No, you got to buy the USB 7 32-bit coprocessor dongle.
Just make sure you have the right USB 7 cable, because there are 27 of them now, and they all look the exact same.
God damn it! Can we just get a triangle, man? You bastards! We need a new shape.
octagons.
Yeah, let's
Wait,
Fedora 44 this shit on USB and just triangle that shit.
What's wrong with barrel connectors?
Too much sense. Because then you could spin them around and
Yeah. Haven't we solved this already? You just headphone jacks, man. Like,
no. Here's how they fuck it up. They make it 3.5 millimeter pointy bitch that you get.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's USB 5. We just need to go back to like fucking 35 3.5
But
millimeter
here's the thing: in order to get the connect and like the USB 3.5, the headphone connector is like this long.
Yeah.
So it's like the RoboCop spike where it comes out and he punches, puts it in the
it's like Harvey's fucking brain thing.
Yeah.
But we also bring back the fucking stretchy phone cable. You know the one. Like this shit, right? Like
yeah. What all mouse cables should be made of.
Yes.
Yes. Because then you can fuck with it.
You can just whip it around.
Yeah.
Make old new again.
It's like Mjolnir. It goes. Whoop.
Yeah.
Something I've been playing around with a lot lately is LACT.
Milky.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
I am talking about probably the best GUI utility for managing your AMD, NVIDIA, and Intel hardware for no other reason than it's the one I know about and use. Now, the one you know about and use, I'm sure you can say similar
Core Control
things. Core Control's pretty good. You like it?
That's the one I use, but like,
okay.
Yeah. I don't have any like particular attachment to one.
Yeah, I had no modern AMD cards at all until I got that like WX3100. I'm like, I need something to display, and this is the first thing that showed up. Like, we're best friends now. Yeah. So, couple of updates for this, and I think like the big one, dude. Super cool bonus feature: multiple conditions to trigger performance profiles. So. And this works on Windows too, by the way. This isn't just for us smelly Linux nerds, maybe even you BSD people out there. So if you wanted to have it set up to, run your GPU like super cool, like you're playing a light game, nothing heavy, like you're playing the original Crysis.
Yeah.
And then, if it sees that process is running, they use Prey and Factorio for this. It can dial things back. It can underval, and just run it back, put it on the lowest performance setting. Then if you want to play like some big juggernaut-ass game like Hollow Knight, you can spin things up, man, really get it nice and shouty for the demanding stuff. Or I was immediately thinking, why? Because I'm broken. That would be fucking hilarious to put those conditions, but flip the script on your friend's computer. So when they go to play like their fucking big chonky game, it just dials everything down and just throttles the hell out of the GPU. And they're like, why is this so slow? And I'm like, oh no, man, it's weird.
It's so weird, man.
I don't know. It must be ghosts.
It could be haunted. Another nice thing to see is a process monitor. If you're familiar with NVIDIA SMI on the console, this is a nice little GUI to show you what applications are sitting around running through the GPU. Silicon, giving you your VRAM, your graphics, how much memory it's taking, if it's using encode or decode, which is nice to see, which you immediately start creeping on like what you're running, Brad.
Yeah. GPU top. Yeah.
Yeah. Like to see it. More NVIDIA metrics. Good to see. Flatpak service improvements. And you do need kernel 614 if you have one of the latest and greatest RDNA Quattro GPUs.
There's also a nice little feature in there as well, where there's a menu now if you have multiple Vulkan drivers installed, i.e. if you have like the proprietary AMD Vulkan drivers, AMD Vulk and RADV, you can swap between them handily through this now, which is a nice feature.
That is nice.
Now, every time we talk about LACT, I got to go to their main GitHub page to see if they fixed their screenshots yet. Now, they've had screenshots for a while. They've all been broken when you click on them. So let's hey, all right. Nailing it. Love it. So yeah, great little program. It's probably in whatever distribution that you're currently running. Maybe.
Has a flat pack, has an app image. You can just run it that way too.
Now, I got a question for you, Ben. Do you think it'll be able to run the latest and greatest, the newest GPUs?
No.
No?
No chance.
Not a chance? Not even like the awesome new Chinese-made ones?
You show me some awesome new Chinese-made ones and I'll fucking give you a maybe.
What about the true GPU? or the G100 as it's called.
Listen, this motherfucker's not even joking. It's called the true GPU.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be more concerned if it was like the fake GPU. Like,
GPU-ish. GPU adjacent.
They sell you like a literal piece of cardboard that fits in a PCI slot. It's a fake GPU.
Hey, you know what? It'll go great with my my cardboard cutout TV.
Yeah,
where are we? What? Lee Swan?
Lee Swan.
Yeah.
Lee Swan Technology, man. Yeah, they announced a G100. This is like their homegrown silicon, which, Sandy, it's not that performant, though, is it?
No, because they ran a Geekbench test and they ran it against the RTX 4060, the 5060, and it was, I want to say it was
it matches closer to the 660 from, like 15 years ago.
Yeah. And like Jordan said, it came out closer in terms of its performance. It came out closer to the GTX 660 Titan that came out way back when, if you guys remember that.
TI, not the Titan. That was
the Ti.
I thought the TI series was the Titan series.
No.
The Ti.
Titan is the give us way more
Titan.
money.
This is back in the day when Nvidia was just like, we're just going to release a special one. It's not for gaming, wink. But give you a suitcase and shit.
So, Mirror, to your point in chat, this is not Morse thread. This is another one of these Chinese GPU manufacturers that are coming out with the engineering sample. One interesting thing, I went to the Geekbench page and I'm like, what kind of drivers is this running?
Yeah.
Lo and behold, it's Mesa. So I would assume that, if these things ever do come to market, we're gonna have an easy enough time running on Linux. Yeah. Platform name Mesa. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. I would like cruising down and I'm looking at that. And the two things that stuck out to me is that, like, this is running at a max frequency of 300 megahertz, not gigahertz. 300 gigahertz would be some balling one.
Yeah. It would be a little hot. Yeah.
And the device memory is 256 megabytes. So what were they testing? They were, I pretty much believe they were looking for this over here in the right hand corner in Geekbench.
Yeah. Does it work?
Does it say valid? Yeah.
And like to that point, right? Like with 32 compute units and 256 megabytes of RAM or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like if it can hit GTX 660 Ti performance level, it's not an awful card. Like comparatively now, it's weak sauce, but back in the day it was solid. And I do wonder how much more you can squeeze out from a driver perspective, because we do know that especially for benchmarks, they really do. There's a Volkswagen mode, right? A lot of drivers will detect that they're being run in a benchmark and will run the super fast optimized routes. And the same thing with games, right? A lot of NVIDIA writes a lot of game specific code for their drivers. AMD does this as well. In Mesa, we see that there are a ton of game specific workarounds as well, based on executable IDs and UIDs and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's promising.
I mean, this is built on a 6 nanometer node, so pretty dope there. And what you're looking at with 300 megahertz and 256 megs of RAM, you're looking at something that was just getting out of FPGA. They got something taped out. They're like, we need to see if this thing smokes when we put electricity through it. And we're not going to give it the beans. The end product is not going to be 300 megahertz. The end product's not going to be 256 megs of RAM. This is can this thing make it through Geekbench? What do we need to go back and fix? What are our bodge wires going to look like? What's our software stack going to look like? And it looks like it made it through a round of Geekbench, which is promising because we're still waiting on Player 3. Intel's supposed to be, the chosen one. But
you were supposed to bring balance to the Force.
Oh my God, dude.
It is becoming an Anakin situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
I went down that rabbit hole, dude. I watched an hour and a half documentary on Palpatine, for fuck's sake, the other night, man. I couldn't
get to the point where he nutted in that girl.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Then the purple lightsaber fell, and then it was crazy. Anyway, this Player 3.5 is probably going to come out of China. I don't think we're going to be seeing, who's left to make GPUs. Think about it.
Hyundai?
Yeah. I mean,
I would buy a Toyota GPU.
Yeah.
Or Yamaha.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Well, a lot of people make You know, I can see. All right, now that you bring that up, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen like
Samsung even.
Samsung. You know, but I mean, it's too convenient just to like show up with a dump truck and like pull it back at arm, like give us the schematics. Thanks, bro. Yeah, we'll go package that for you. Yeah. So I'm surprised like Japan and like Korea, they don't have like beginnings of this. Because like, what do we got? And a lot of this is down to, you know, licensing and shit like that. But like if this thing runs on CUDA, keep an eye on like, you know, 3 to 5 years or something. We might see something because we're just fucked right now. We're just fucked. We're in a bad way. NVIDIA released the 5050 this week with 8 gigs of like GDDR6 on it. And
I can't believe they actually called it the 5050. It's like, is it a good card? It's 5050.
Yeah, it's 5050.
They're running around like, and it's like under $300. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like slower than a 3060, dude. Like, no. Like, and it's going to be this time next year, it'll be one of the top cards on Steam. Why? Because that's what's going to end up in all the fucking pre-builds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Anyway.
I think this is pretty good considering the fact that the Geekbench was run on Windows, so that's already that's eaten up a lot of resources right there. So, you know, like
the Windows certification stuff is like maddening. And this is one of the things that's holding up CIX, the guys who make the 12-core ARM CPU in the 06 and soon to be in another big brand name, is they are throwing so much R&D to get Windows certified right now. That's a big thing in China, is to be able to bring your shit up on Windows. Like Linux is like a second thought, which is sad. It's sad to see. Windows extended the Windows 10 licensing, by the way. Security updates until 2026. You don't have to worry about it. On Windows 10, you can hang out. All you got to do is go to the Microsoft Store and buy some Microsoft bucks.
Some Xbox coins.
I'm not even joking. That's what you have to do.
Do a Russian roulette.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of here, if you want to tell us about your GPU adventures or anything else you got going on, head over to linuxgamecast.com, smash that contact button. Give us a hint. Give us an allegation. Give us something left unsaid you want to come on the show. Would love to have you. You got a crowdfunding campaign, or if you just got questions, man, just read the stuff that's over there. And of course, no reply at linuxgamecast.com to send in an email, or you can drop it like it is lukewarm over on Patreon, as Jack did. We got something wrong, gentlemen.
Yeah, this is from Nemo. It's a popular piece of like urban legend that gets misrepeated. So yeah, Nemo writes in and says, "Hi, I cite H Bomber Guy's plagiarism Tony Tallarico video. He's Tommy Tallarico, by the way. You got that wrong. So that instantly invalidates all your correct points, regardless of how right you are. No,
correct.
But it wasn't literally Michael Jackson himself who contributed to the Sonic the soundtrack. No, the Sonic soundtrack.
The
soundtrack. Yeah, that's some gem in that's some Jem'Hadar in the hologram shit. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, it wasn't MJ. It was his producer. Some MJ demo tracks may have made it into the game. Yeah, this was from the Tommy Tallarico video. I almost said Tony, because you know his mother is very proud of him. Yes, that's
okay.
Yeah, it is. Yes,
okay.
Or she is.
I've heard that name. Why do I know that, Tony?
So I know him primarily from Electric Playground on television, which was a video game review show that showed up on the weekends on like channel 20. I think it was on Global or City TV or something like that.
Oh man,
City TV.
City TV. It also was on. They had like reruns on Space as well, which I think is where I caught a bunch of them. But anyways, but he was also a video game composer. He composed tracks for a number of games. Has his own company now. Tried to take credit for the Roblox oof sound effect. Yeah. Dr. Tony Tallarico from Cornerstone Family in Huntsville, Alabama. Is it New Jersey? Huntsville, New Jersey?
Yes, Alabama, New Jersey. Yeah.
Well, I know there's a Huntsville, Alabama, but there could very well be a Huntsville, New Jersey.
I'm always shocked, man, when I'm seeing like shit roll by. I'm like, wait, what?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, small town name, sure.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah,
you that
exactly.
Schmegeldorf exists. Absolutely, Schmegeldorf, Ohio. It's my favorite place
we
to
could
go.
just all agree, like the Sonic soundtrack. Sonic 1 and 2 were bangers as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, hells yes.
Loved them. Also,
Hells yes.
I had the Michael Jackson game for the Mega Drive.
Oh
Moonwalker?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Moonwalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Moonwalker.
I
Yeah.
watched a playthrough of that a couple of years ago. That game is nuts.
Yes, considering like we didn't think about it back in the day. We were just fucking kids. We're like, hey, we could throw the hat and like moonwalk. Like that was
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
cool. And
It
turn
tur- it
into a
fucking
giant
turns-
cyborg.
It turns
Yeah.
into the
For
last
some
Starfighter for the last level too, where you have
You
to
gotta
shoot down
catch that comment, dude. Yeah, man. Oh,
and all the fucking bit crushed NES like sort of covers of Michael Jackson songs.
they are really good on that sound.
Yo,
Like
well
that,
done.
Like that's
Yeah.
what I was hearing when I was reading that for whatever reason. Like Billie Jean. That's why I put it in the note. Like Jane's. I was like, man, I'm like, what you might not know is the Moonwalker game for the Mega Drive was based on a superior, I think, arcade game of the same name,
Yeah.
I did
which
not
was
know
like
that.
even stranger.
Which was also based off of the movie.
Well, yeah,
Right.
It
That
was all based
happened.
off the movie.
Yeah, the Wiz.
It was weird because that movie is like literally just like 3 music videos, including Smooth Criminal. Smooth Criminal is just straight out of that film.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but thank you for the subs. 39 months. Speaking of subs, you want to support the show, head over to Linux Gamecast, patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. Get your name in lights, get your name in credits. And all the other places. We got LibrePay, PayPal, Bitcoin. Patreon's the best way because we can give you the most bonus for your bucks. We got wish list over there. We got merch. If you want to get a, I was like, oh man, I'd show a Frank's Obey shirt, but then Fedora's like, no, you can't. And I'm like, damn it. All right, fine.
Fine.
I'll just keep it on Frank. That's where it belongs. Humble affiliate links.
You gotta get the blue 32 shirt now.
Oh,
Yeah.
B3. Maybe. Can never tell. Never tell. Yeah, that's it. Linux Gamecast, interfacinglinux.com. Go like and subscribe. Watch YouTube videos if you're interested in that shit. If you're not, that's cool. We'd still hang out. We'd be friends. And yeah. All right. 33.4 degrees, baby. Still alive. Wow. That's not too bad.
Yeah, you're not like drenched. You're kind of glistening.
I'm just getting that actually,
nice
it's just,
glaze going on. Yes.
Jordan, it's pre-glycol.
Ah,
Pre-glycol.
it's the pre-gliss. I see.
Yes.
Pre-glycol.
Yeah.
You know when the pre-glycol shows up. It's time to cue that fuck mothering music, ladies and gentlemen. You can always catch us right here on Twitch. Come check out a live show. Put us in your face, 8 p.m. Twitch.tv/Linux Gamecast. Get in touch with me. I'm over on Interfacing Linux. You can find all my social medias. I'm on everything, man. Come say hi in the Mastodons and all the things. And we're just in our super secret Discord. If you're a patron, Twitch sub, or YouTube subscriber, pop in and say hi.
I'm Jordan. Sandy Martin is not my girl. She's just the girl who claims that I'm the one, but the kid is not my son. Yeah, you can help fund my court case about that on Blue Sky and Frojo Peace Sky app or go to mass.linuxgamecast.com.
I'm Sandy. And, I ain't no daddy, but you can find me on the Mastodon at Altimore at mass.linuxgamecast.com. Oh my god.
Breathe, damn you.
You're welcome for that one.
Time for some credits.
I learned that X87 was a thing a while ago, so yeah.
Right.
Well, it's that time of the week. We made it through the episode. We didn't melt yet, but we got to thank our advisor, Arthur, and we got to thank our executive producers, Bob Ramp, Scott, Atomic, 1234, Drummer, Thargos. We got our little Nicky fans, Eggy, Basil, and Empty. And we got our Sea Monsters.
Angel, Demento, John, Dirty Dean, System TRL, Rider X, Makaknana, Nimaha, Vertinuda, Trugge, Mike, and Kajora.
We got Red Ski for the Death Notes, Mark J, Oil of Hope, Benjamin Nova. We got Chad.
It's a sheep Steve. I just
Yeah,
noticed
I
that.
already lost it. And, you know, all
he a
the
sheep?
awesome
A
chairlings, the greatest
bukkake
of the great.
chairlings, man.
And
Bukkake.
then pay to win, Libra players.
Yeah.
That's what it says
exactly.
on the manual. A bukkake of chairlings. It's a nature manual. It teaches you how to install nature. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
You just dribble it all over your face. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, plenty of time, plenty of Monday to get up to. Go check out my fucking arm video. If you're listening to this on podcast, it's already out for everybody. It's been out for patrons for a couple of days. But I think you're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time with this one. And let me know what you think. Till next week. Down a fire. See you then.
Bye-bye.
You know, I shaved it and went for the stripe. I've done that in a while. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I dig it.
You know,
How's it feel?
Well, I've went for it before, but I fucked it up and it was crooked. Yeah. And I'm like, nah.
I learned my